Hey guys, I'm Ash.
And I'm Pete.
We're two friends with a combo of 7 kids ranging from toddlers to 20s and 2 crazy husbands.
Our paths were not easy. With childhood battle wounds, divorce, second marriages and all, we somehow found each other. And together we talk real life, laugh, cry, and figure out how to survive the day.
Music is by Dabble Champion. To hear Dabble Champion's newest hits, search Dabble Champion on Spotify. Hey guys, it's Ash and P.
Hey!
Welcome back.
We just tried to record a little bit and then my Instacart came, so
I tried talking to myself for a moment, but then I felt like I couldn't hold a conversation very good.
Could you imagine doing a podcast by yourself?
No. I was actually, also TMI, I just went to the restroom after I stopped recording. I was like, I'll go to the restroom really quick. And I was thinking, I would not be able to do a podcast alone.
I know. It's weird.
And, I talk a lot.
Yeah.
Like, I'm, big talker,
Yeah.
I couldn't do it alone.
I know. That's some real talent.
Yeah. I guess I don't know
if I've ever listened to a podcast with one person talking. Do you?
I do. Mm-hmm. I think I only listened to one, though.
Is it like a murder mystery one?
No, my murder mystery ones always have 2 girls.
Yeah.
Because girls are dangerous.
This is true.
And
I have 3.
So Tony's in trouble. But no, it's more of it's like a political one, like news type stuff. So it's more of like discussing things, which I think is a little different. It's easy to discuss those things. I would not be able to have a full podcast about my life by myself. My life by itself is not at all interesting.
Neither is mine. I don't really think our lives are interesting.
No, but I do think we have experiences that everyone has. I mean,
yes,
maybe not.
That is what it is, for sure.
Yeah, it's just that we're normal. We have normal life.
We do.
Yeah.
And we just like to share it with everyone so everyone knows all about it.
Yeah, that, and because we want our husbands and our children to be picked up over episodes.
Yes.
Priscilla was really bothered by that last week. So I'm like, I don't think I notice it as much.
I notice it. Sorry for my family in the background. My husband doesn't have a quiet voice. So annoying. He literally, I'm like, you must never have gone into a library because his quiet voice is still loud. And he doesn't know how to whisper.
So he
really
would not
doesn't.
be good. So it really bothers me when I'm trying to be quiet and I'm saying something to Jason, say we're around
and he
people.
can't read lips either.
Yeah, Jason can't either. And he's like, what? And I'm like, never mind.
Yeah.
Just never mind. You want me to talk about the person sitting one booth over loudly? I can't do it.
Yeah.
You got to read my lips.
Yeah. I
think I'm very animated.
Yes.
I feel like you should be able to tell what I'm saying, right? I don't know. Anywho, so that bothered P. They've been calling me.
Oh my gosh.
Every day.
Every fucking day. I should have told them last week when they called. I have COVID. Please don't call anymore. No, I mean, I love giving blood.
I do too.
I do like giving blood, and I don't mind it. And I know that there's a need. They are very short. And I totally get it. It's just.
This is a PSA, guys. Go donate blood.
Yes.
Priscilla and I need to also, but go donate.
Maybe don't give them your phone number. Just give them your email.
Gosh, I need to tell them my phone number changed. Oh, but they get my voicemail all the time, so they know my phone number hasn't changed. I need to go back to just the automated, you've reached 559.
Yeah.
Whatever that thing is. Yeah.
They just call a lot.
They call every single day, and they call after 5. I'm still at work at 5.
They'll call me sometimes late too.
Oh yeah.
And I'm like, what the heck?
But it's really frustrating right now to donate blood because and I know I said frustrating. Funny. You're looking. I know you're looking at me.
You were saying.
Okay, I said frustrating. I think I fumbled. Whatever. But right now, because of COVID, you have to do like you can't just do a walk-in.
Yes.
I need things where I can just walk in
Easy.
because it's like when I'm available, I don't want to have to schedule that in. I know I need to. Don't hate me. I was going to do it, and then I started, not right now, but I feel like every time they're freaking stalking me, I start getting a cough or something.
I know.
And I don't want to.
Now's probably a great time for me to do it.
Yeah, since you won't be.
I just haven't had a free time to do it.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the other thing is.
I know. I need to just go on and schedule it.
Yeah.
But they are very low, so.
Donate blood. Sorry. Oh, are you playing with my nipple?
He had a little something right where her nip goes.
So last episode was a little somber, but I mean, it was real. That's really what was going on. And thank you for sharing and opening up about that stuff. Thank you. And I think that, you know, everyone can say, I think everyone pretty much knows, you know, to cherish your family and your moments and do what you can and know that whatever you do, if it's coming from the heart, is enough. Yeah. But I'm telling you, it's part of life, and I think that it's the shitty part, but it is part of life. And you know, it's also like as dumb as it sounds, it's also the circle of life, because think about, like, we just brought in a new baby into our friends and family homes,
which by the way, we're really excited. Next weekend we get to go finally meet him.
We kind of waited a while, you know, we didn't want to rush mom, and I didn't want to take our germy little kids. It's also just a lot of work, and we can't focus on
you would have to worry about your, I mean, yes. I would be lucky because my kids are bigger, yes. So I would be able to just love on him and hold him, and maybe we should have taken our family so that I could do that.
Yeah, so we're taking
a girl trip. Yep, we're gonna do a girl trip, and super duper excited about it. I cannot wait. We have been watching these videos and seeing these pictures, and he still looks like a little scrumptious baby because I think our kids are bigger, so it's different, but he is looking bigger.
But I have to tell you, even
old. Danny wants to go outside. We're podcasting while we're single parenting.
Yes. Well, no, we're not going outside right now, but you know what? You can get a snack. Do you want to go get a snack? Go look in the snack drawer and see what we have. That's my bride. That's the way I parent. I had my nephews here today with me, and which they were great, but I mean, like, you know, I've got 3 under 3.
Yeah.
Today. And
that's tiring even if they're great. It's you have to do a lot.
Sorry. It is a lot, but they were great. They were really good. And number one, you said about the baby, and even like rocking my youngest nephew. Aww. He just barely turned 1. Last month, and it's like, oh,
you missed those.
Oh, it's so sweet, you know. Yeah. And it was sweet, and I got to give him a bottle and like put him down, and that was so sweet. I know.
So cute.
But yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited to have a little girls trip. I'm excited to see a baby. But it is the circle. I mean, that's kind of like how things happen. You know, we lose, you know, and we gain, and we figure out how to deal and manage. And it is truly about figuring out how to continue on, right?
Yeah. Yeah, it really is. And
in all the different stages of life, because life comes in so many different stages.
Right. Come in. Sorry, guys. She's knocking now that she slammed the door on us.
Yeah.
Just kidding. It wasn't really a slam. She was just trying to be mindful of Ash and P. Danny, how do you feel about Ash and P?
Can you say it? Can you say, hey, guys?
Oh,
No,
she's
not gonna
being
want to.
shy.
So here you go. Thank you. But it is about surviving those moments and figuring it out. And there's just so many different changes that we go through in life. And I have to tell you, like, this week was one of those things where I went and I met with my oldest ones, my junior in high school. I met with her counselor today, or not today, the other day, and we're talking about, oh goodness, college, and we're talking about.
Yeah, you did not share any info about that. You said you did.
I thought I did. I must have sent. I don't know. I must have just talked.
Great. She's talking to other people, and she doesn't even love us. Just so our girls that listen someday, they'll know who I'm talking to, and they'll know that you don't care about us.
I swear I thought I was, but they were like, okay, so this is what's the most important, and yada yada yada, and I have to tell you that I've just been so grateful that Tristan's been back on campus.
Yeah.
That
she's been so much, like, things have been so much better for her.
Yes.
I think her being on campus working, everything really helped.
But talking and being in there and like, as we are figuring things out, I'm like, and it's not just her, it's other kids too. I mean, this is what's happened, but I'm like, she really has been robbed of 2 years of her life. And it made me, I walked away with a very heavy heart.
Oh, because don't start.
Please. I know, I'm not going to cry.
We said it was going to be.
I know. But I have to say, yes, her senior year, for those that were seniors during the last 2 years, yes, it's been hard because you missed your prom and your fun times and all of that stuff. But with my child, when COVID hit, she really went into a mode of completely not her. Mm-hmm. And it hit her, and it hurt her, and it hurt her GPA, and it hurt her heart, and it hurt her mentally, and it hurt her physically in a lot of ways. And she was not the same person that she was before. She wasn't. And I feel like if we would have gotten back her sophomore year, I'd feel a little different. But this being her junior year, and everything matters, every single thing. And you lost 2 years, and it's like, she's like, well, and they're talking about clubs and stuff, and it's like, nobody's met for 2 years. Yeah. I mean, they're just kind of now whatever, and it's awkward and it's weird, and she's lost contact with people, and she's whatever. And it's like, there's just I felt so like she really, this is shitty. It is. This is shitty. It is. And I'm grateful for the friends that I have that are barely in 9th or 10th or whatever grade, that they can, hopefully this is getting better and they won't go through that same thing. Yeah. But it just, I walked away going, God, I don't like this. I don't like I don't like this. And I feel like there's a lot of pressure on her this last semester. Yeah, like it's basically 2 years of pressure into one semester. Well, like 2.5 years. Yeah. That is horrible. I was thinking about that earlier today, and I was actually going to talk to you about it. Not on the podcast, but because I was thinking, like, we've talked in the past about how we met at PTC and how you did Carnival and I took over, and like how Carnival was like a big part, right? Like that was a big part of our PTC stuff. And how now I'm like, are we going to have one this year? It's my kid's last year. I want him to have one. And I am thinking about the kids for the past 2 years that left and how sad that is. Yeah. And like our kids last year at the elementary school, they didn't get to do 6th grade camp, which is honestly some of the only memories I have from elementary school, really.
are from sixth grade camp. It was so much fun, and it was something that I always looked back on fondly. And even like, I'm sure if you asked Tristan, but even Hayden, when Jackson was getting ready to go, he's like, "Oh, Jackson, it's so much fun." Like, blah, blah, blah. Like, he's talking to him about stuff. And it's like that poor group of kids last year. One of our friends has a kid in that group.
Yeah.
And they didn't get to go. And I think it's so darn sucky.
It is.
It's horrible. I mean, granted, that's just one little, like, that's something that they missed out on, right? But with the older kids, I mean, gosh, some of the kids missed out on having a graduation. That's horrific. That's horrendous.
That is.
Because
absolutely.
Missing a sixth grade camp is like, you don't really know. I mean, you know you're missing it, but you don't know, right? But to not have a graduation, that's like, I cannot imagine. And even the kids last year, you know, like your niece, was able to do, was that last year or the year before?
Well, Kelly was last year.
And they had a full graduation?
It was pretty much, they were limited seats. It was like limited seating, but they pretty much kind of did. It was still weird and different. Like, because I think they could only invite so many people, which is kind of how they did it with our niece the year before too. We could only have like
oh my gosh, you guys, I'm so sorry. We normally are not recording at this time. That is just my reminder to take my medicine. I'm that old that I have to set reminders to take medicine.
Yeah, I would too. Well, I couldn't even take a pill.
Yeah. Because that's how you got knocked up. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding, you guys. That's not really how it happened. But yeah, I mean, I guess at least they had that, but it, like, that's so sad to not have full graduation.
Yeah, no, you're right. Totally.
And then, I mean, I know not every kid goes to prom or formal or that kind of thing, but to not be able to.
Right.
You know, like, it wasn't their choice. Like, I didn't want to go. It's they couldn't go.
Right.
And that's so, it's just, it's horrible what this has done to our kids.
Yes.
It really is.
It is.
Ugh, I hate it. But also, like, getting your kid prepared to go to college and things like that. It's like a lot of, and I don't think a lot of people that have younger kids, or maybe people like with no kids yet, people that were able to continue doing their jobs and things like that, I don't think they really understand the type of mental the mental health strain that like it caused our kids a lot of grief. You know, like the adolescent teen, like early teenagers.
Yes.
I think it's hit them the most.
Yes.
So it's just one of those things where it's like, gosh, it's just not something that I think if you do not have kids in that age group, it's difficult to really understand, especially if you yourself was able to go to work and continue on. Like we had mentioned, you know, we got to still go on with our lives, right? So it didn't seem like anything was changing.
Right.
So I don't know. It is rough, but
it's just city. It's just shitty, and I felt bad. I felt bad when I left there. I will tell you that I do think this though. Mature-wise, there's a big difference in her this year than there was even last year. She's a lot more mature, and she's a lot more mature about her school than she was last year.
But
I do think she's where she should be, but she went backwards for a while,
Yeah.
And then had to come
Yeah.
back up.
Getting there
You know what I
was
mean?
harder than it normally would
Yes.
be. Agree.
I think that it's just going to be it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough. And I hope to God that these colleges have grace on these kids that are going through this, that have gone through this.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I don't know. And it's crazy because I'm in two different. I am in two different worlds. So on that note, I'm dealing with that with my eldest, and then I've got daycare closing down every other week because a kid tests.
I know this Omicron is okay. So and I'm not joking when I say thank goodness this is the variant that our kids are getting, right?
I know.
Because it is like very mild. It's very mild. Thank goodness the other variants were not impacting many kids. Yes. Obviously the more serious ones. So thankfully this is not that you ever want your kids to get sick, but if you have to choose one or the other, Omicron's going to be the one, right? But yeah, it is. And the way they've changed contact tracing and things like that, I think it's, do you get emails about T being in classes with kids that like they send out, it's an email. It doesn't matter if they were within 6 feet of the kid. It's if someone in the class or activity tested. Mm-hmm. So before we were getting notification if the kids were within 6 feet.
I remember getting those.
Yes.
At the end of last year, I got one of those.
Yeah. So now it's if they're in like everyone in that classroom is being notified. I mean, thankfully it's if your kids are fine, they're fine to go to school. But it's like
daycare is like they got to shut down.
But the good news is daycare is a smaller group.
Yes.
And so it's gone through a good chunk of the kids there. And so you guys should be in the clear for a bit, right?
I know.
Cross our fingers.
Yes. I don't know. It's just so bizarre. And I mean, it is, look, like you said, grateful that this is the strand that they're getting because it's not as serious. But I will also say this thing is so inconvenient.
Yes.
It is. Yeah. It is the most inconvenient sickness that you can get because of the quarantine. Yeah. And it affects not just you, but everyone around you.
Right.
You know, that is difficult. And I know that that's what's difficult right now in the entire world. It's not just my family or families in general. It's also the employers and everyone. Right. You know? But God,
and
it just sucks.
Like not just that kind of inconvenience that everyone's quarantining, but the inconvenience, like if you don't have to quarantine, but now your daycare had to close.
Right.
Like your daughter recently had it. She's obviously not a concern, but now she has to be home because she has no daycare to go to. Right. Luckily, Jackson's classroom got shut down because of the amount of positive cases in quarantine in his class. That must have been before they started changing their no. Okay, so I take that back. One day we did get something saying someone in the class had tested, but then within a day or two, we got something saying class is being shut down. Luckily, we were, not luckily. We were back in Tennessee dealing with my grandpa's death. So Jackson was already on independent study. But if he hadn't been, it's like, perfect, great. My kid's at home alone.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I mean, that's true. I don't know. I just feel like, I was telling someone the other day, I'm like, I had this person at work call and they just ripped me. They just wanted to argue about something. And I just happened to get their, I took the brunt of what their frustrations were. And she's going on and on and on. And I said, what is it that you would like me to do for you? What do you want? What do you want? What's going to make you happy?
Yeah.
And I told her, I said, I will do what I can, but But you need to understand something. The entire world is upside down right now.
Yeah.
I mean, like, give me a break. And that is the most frustrating part, is that I'm telling you, everything is so crazy. The car market is crazy. Jobs, no one can find jobs, or no one can find jobs. No one can hire anyone. No one wants to work. EDD is crazy. Our state is crazy.
Everything.
Getting any product in,
Yeah.
I mean, even the stores have kind of been a little bare again.
Yeah.
They got a good flow in, and then I kind of see it kind of dying down again.
And certain things, like weird things like cream cheese. Why? First of all, we live in the valley. We have lots of cows around.
Yeah.
Why can I not
Dairy
get
should
any
not
cream
be an
cheese?
issue.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, why am I not getting cream cheese?
Yeah.
I mean, milk is fine, so I guess that's not an issue. But like, out of cream cheese, just they're out of these weird stores are out of these weird things where it's like,
and everything is so
expensive.
Oh my gosh, everything. I'm like, I am paying.
I know our raises don't even matter.
No, because that is like cost of living. You know?
It's just. Oh, sorry. We have a guest in here.
Yeah.
Georgia is in. She forgot we were podcasting and wanted to chime in on how expensive things are.
No, everything. It's just, it's nuts. It's just the way the world is right now. And I think the hardest part is not knowing when it ends. If it ends, will it end? What does it go back?
Can't it just be in?
What
it just be in?
What is our freaking future look like?
That is scary.
It is.
It is very scary. And I have to say that
it doesn't look good.
Well, it's especially scary that the kids that are going through this are our future.
Oh my gosh, don't even get me going there, because I've thought about that so many times. I'm like, these kids are our leaders.
They're not getting educated.
No.
Like, they're really not. Kids are behind.
Yeah.
They are seriously behind. It was like the time that school was shut down for in-person learning, there's like a few handful of kids, I think, that did well in that. The rest of them didn't. They are having to learn. They learned stuff coming into this school year that they had already learned. It was just like review of stuff because they're trying to catch kids up.
Yeah.
And that's our future. Not only that, these older kids who are going to be our near future are jacked up psychologically from it. I think kids are so scared of things.
Oh my gosh.
It's insane.
Yeah.
I don't know. It really is crazy. I was going to say something and now I can't remember.
I don't know.
But
we'll take a break and then you can remember.
I won't, but yeah, let's take a break.
Okay, we'll be right back. Hey guys, we're back.
Hey.
Okay. Well, it's really hard not to just talk about COVID, and I'm not trying to make our podcast about COVID. It's hard because so many things right now like revolve around COVID.
They do. I know. So, off the topic of COVID.
Great. Love it.
I don't know how much you're going to love it. What is this about cancel culture?
Oh gosh, that's another thing I hate.
I know, but it really is all over these days. I was okay. What?
I was just gonna say, this is like the kind of stuff that our like grandparents, great grandparents, maybe reminded us of. Like, oh, you shouldn't be on your phone, shouldn't be on watching TV, because this is the kind of
you're gonna be
shit.
Yeah, really, because it's all this non-important stuff, right? Like Adele's being canceled because she is happy to be a woman. Okay.
Which now I just might have to go download all of her songs.
Right.
Just to do it, because I said that when I was in our podcast with Molly. It's like, what happened to being proud to be a woman?
Yeah.
Why is that a dig? That's not a dig.
No, it's only a dig because there's trans people, and apparently if you're a woman and proud of it, you are transphobic.
That just seems crazy.
It's the dumbest thing. It is the dumbest thing.
Seems crazy to me.
But that's like white, so I'm racist, you know? I mean,
yeah, but is it racist to be proud to be, I don't know what you are. Are you Swedish or? I don't know what you are. Swedish? Okay. So is it racist to be Swedish?
Like to be proud to be Swedish?
Yeah, to be proud to be Swedish?
I don't know. Maybe if you say Swedish and not white, maybe it's not as offensive, but maybe still offensive because I'm still white. Like,
I just feel like I want my kids to feel like you should be proud of who you are and what you are.
Yeah.
And that's everything. That is not just your color or your gender, but that is just everything in general.
Right.
Like, be a proud person, you know?
Yes.
I mean, like,
otherwise, I feel like we're creating weak people.
Yeah.
I do feel like society is getting weaker. People are getting weaker. I really do.
You know, I do too. And we've talked about this before. It's like when our country is strong, when our country is united, when our country is all those things, what usually has happened in that time frame is a war.
Yeah.
An attack on us. Except now we're just all attacking each other.
Yes.
And so
it is an internal war on our country.
It
and I do think outside forces do have something to do with it.
I do too.
And I know people
will probably
be
like, foil hat on right now.
People are going to be like, you're a conspiracy theorist.
Yeah.
But really, I mean, you can listen to like Russian Deflector referencing all the stuff that is literally happening right now.
Yeah.
Not COVID, not saying COVID, but everything else, like what society is doing to everyone.
Yeah.
They talk about it.
Yeah.
It's so whatever. You can say I'm a conspiracy theorist. You can call us foil hatters. I don't care.
Here's the thing. I'm not probably smart enough to be a conspiracy theorist. And
what do you mean?
And I'm too lazy enough to be like a foil hat like person.
How do you mean you're not smart enough and what do you mean?
I'm too lazy and I'm not that smart.
What do you mean you're too lazy?
I'm not trying to dig to find out if people are lizards or if they're like real people.
See, I don't believe in that.
You know what I mean? Like people go down like a deep road.
They do.
Know what I mean?
No,
like,
they do.
They get into their stuff and then all of a sudden it's like they should be living in a bunker and they need to be heavily medicated because they don't trust the person right next to them because they might be like have a mask on their head the whole time.
Yeah.
You know, like I'm not crazy, but what I'm saying is I do definitely believe you are fed things. We may not be North Korea. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, we may not be these, but don't think that we're not being fed things.
We are.
We totally are.
Yeah.
I mean, why? I told Tony, it was like, Tony and I both this was maybe 2 weeks ago, we're talking and we had been, obviously Cars is when it was on our podcast when I was with him. That's been a hot topic in our house. And so, yes, we look up cars, but I've never looked up this car, but this car always comes up on my Facebook feed all the time. And so I'm like, whatever, I keep going. Well, the other day we both were on Facebook and we both were like, this always comes up, and it was
the same one.
Same fucking car.
Yeah, it's because what you guys are saying.
Yeah, I'm like
what your mic is picking up.
I'm like, this is the kind of shit they're going to cater to what you are talking about, what's going on in your life, what's relative, whatever. This is the scary stuff. This is the stuff that scares me about social media and about media in general.
Yeah.
And that maybe we we have allowed ourselves to fall into these people's traps
Yeah.
of being fed whatever it is that we may be thinking about at the time.
Right. We have, unfortunately, and I think it just takes being aware of it. I think you have to be aware.
But
so
that's hard for kids and that generation. And I feel like that's why they're so confused.
Yes, absolutely.
On so many levels.
Okay, so first of all, about outside forces. I do mean other countries as well, though. And I don't know that you do.
No, I do.
Okay,
I do.
You do.
I do.
But, you know, our kids' TikTok is significantly different than China's kids' TikTok. And that's a real thing. Like, it is a real thing.
I've heard that.
And so when there's stuff like that happening, and okay, where does TikTok come from?
TikTok is
a dumpster fire.
It is.
I mean, as far as actually for our kids' age, all social media is a dumpster fire because
that's true.
They're being fed you get suggestions based on who you like and what you watch and all of that type of stuff. You know, it is very rare that I see on like Instagram or TikTok, say somebody is doing like a commentation, right? Like it's not them doing a dumb dance or anything on TikTok. They're like talking about something. I think it has probably happened less than 5 times since I've had TikTok for a couple years now. That it's happened less than 5 times that someone with a different point of view has popped up in my feed.
Ooh, that's okay.
So, and I think that really helps to keep our country divided. Because if, let's say, you are on the left and I am on the right, I'm constantly being fed all this right-wing stuff.
Okay.
You're constantly being fed all this left-wing stuff. And we are both now thinking this is all true reality.
Mm-hmm.
And so now we are completely against each other. Because I do think that is something that politicians have done well, is divide us.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. And it benefits them because their narrative gets to become the truth now.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like what they say is what it is. You know?
Yeah.
I don't know. And I think it sucks. I think, like you said, our grandparents said, don't be on your phone so much, blah, 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 that kind of stuff. And I think it's, honestly, if our kids would get out of that, not even just our kids, if people in general would stop being on their phones and social media and actually conversating with people around them, I think they would find that just because you're left and I'm right doesn't mean that we have to have some hatred toward each other.
Yeah.
We have things in common.
Well, be an adult. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
A different.
Oh gosh. Yeah.
Yeah. Don't be stupid. Be an adult, and I just feel like I talked about that before. It's like this division. I hate it. Yes. I hate that people think that you're a racist or that you're that you're a sexist or that you are a homophobe. Yeah, or anything like that. It's like, you guys, first of all, be proud of who you are.
Right.
And that's okay. But don't take yourself too serious. And also, just, have love in your heart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
mean, have love in your heart for other people. And I think that's where I see a lot of, I think that's where I really gravitated towards, honestly, prayer and, wanting to instill those things in my smaller children even more than I did in my older, because I'm I feel like it's the devil and I feel like it's evil and I feel like it's coming after our youth, because let's be honest, they are the next ones.
They are
our future.
Yeah.
They are our leaders, and if they're misguided, then then they can
Yep.
misguide an entire country,
Yep.
you know, and a whole world.
Mm-hmm.
And it just hurts my heart because I feel like I'm seeing it, and I feel like I hope other people are seeing it too, and it's not just us. And I hope that if you're out there, hey, if you're out there and you hear this and you agree and you feel like you see it too, can you please just tell us on Instagram or something, hey, I see it too? Because sometimes I feel like, does anyone see it?
Right.
Does anyone see it?
Yeah. You're not alone, right?
I'm not, right? Hopefully, maybe that's why we still have some people still listening to us.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Maybe.
But it's just, I see it. Maybe people don't see it if they don't have kids our age, or they haven't been put in a place that we have been put into. But I just feel like I really, really, it's strong. It's strong.
It is.
And it has a hold on them.
But you know, the craziest part is that I think as far as the general population goes, I don't think most people are for that type of thing. You know?
For what?
Like, I think that the majority of us feel the same way.
I do too. I really do in my heart.
I don't think it is as divided as they say.
But it seems to have a louder voice.
But,
I shouldn't say louder. It seems to have a very loud voice. And it seems like if anyone else disagrees,
that's where cancel culture comes in.
I know.
And that's why they start eating their own, though. Because that's why, you know, people get up in arms about, okay, Joe Rogan, what's going on with him? You know, people wanted to cancel him because of quote unquote misinformation. Now it's not that. Now it's a video from like 10 years ago. Okay. And Whoopi Goldberg, and, you know, I'm not saying what she said was right. I'm not saying what he said was right. I'm not saying any of that. I'm just saying that these are people who are on the left, and the left is who seems to want to cancel people, you know? Like, they're the people saying, like, no, like, Trump hates everyone, right? Like, Trump hates everyone, blah, 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 whatever. Not that everyone on the right's for Trump. I'm not saying that either.
No,
but
he makes that hard. He makes that hard to do.
Yeah. No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that there's this small group that makes it seem like these factors are what everyone in society is judged on. And if you this or that, but once they cancel all these other people on the opposing side, they have to start canceling people on their side. And it really happens. I don't know. I just think it's insane. I think that it needs to stop. Just let people be who they are.
And get over it and stop being...
Like you said, don't take yourself too seriously.
No.
You know, like, I don't think somebody that's like LGBTQ, I don't think they hate me because I'm straight. Right? Like, do they think I'm, like, are they straightest? I don't know how you say, like, being like, or a straightophobe or whatever, you know what I mean? But it's like...
But if someone doesn't like me, the first thing I'm not thinking is, oh, they don't like me because I'm Mexican.
No, I think they don't like me because maybe I'm like, maybe I gave them a dirty look or something, right? Like, oh, I probably did something like that. I don't ever think it's because I'm a chick, because I'm white, because I'm straight. I don't ever think it's one of those things. I think it's my personality, right? Yeah. Like, our personalities just don't mesh.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I think it's crazy, but it's just sad stuff this world is coming to.
I know. Okay, we have to go. We have to cut it short this episode, but we'll be back, and
don't cancel us for me saying any of that stuff.
Don't cancel us. I think we actually have some lives coming out this week and some recordings, and I really want our next episode to feature this wonderful holiday that we're about to have. Valentine's Day.
I know this is gonna go out after Valentine's Day.
I know.
We really did not plan this very
well. No. We might have to do a live about that then.
Yeah. Let's do that.
Because I still want to hear about it. I want to hear about your Valentine's Day.
All right.
Okay.
Sounds good, Kate.
Thanks,
Bye.
guys. Thanks for swapping with us. Segment music by Callie Grace. For more of Callie Grace's hits, follow Callie Grace on iTunes and Spotify today.